Hey, it's Roger Henderson, and we're at the Wbob Political Hobnob here with Jack Meeks, who is a candidate for Jacksonville City Council at large. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, tell us about yourself and your candidacy and why you decided to run.
Well, now you asked me a whole bunch of questions there in a row, but I'll see
Okay.
if I can handle that.
Okay.
Well, I guess a little bit about me. By the time this election takes place next March, it'll be 50 years since I came to Jacksonville to start an accounting, a CPA career.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, part of my doing this is making sure that our city does the right things financially and that we know what we're doing with our money. Are we collecting what we're supposed to? Or are we paying what we're supposed to? And those types of things. Another thing that's really been a big deal for me, 19 years ago, in fact it was this week on Monday, 19 years ago, my wife and I bought a home in historic Springfield, which is just about a mile from here. And before that, I'd always lived south of the river. And so retrospectively, I figured out that living in those neighborhoods south of the river, I lived in what was called a protected neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And so I never had to go to the city about anything because the things I expected were done. It's been altogether different living in our neighborhood. And so in terms of the sort of problems that we have in Jacksonville, we've had almost all those problems in our neighborhood. And I don't always have all the solutions, but I don't have the problems introduced to me. Mm-hmm. So as an example, a couple of three examples. Before coming to our neighborhood, I'd never been shot at before. I'd never had a brick thrown through my window, and I never had my tire slashed. Now, thankfully, most all of that's in the rearview mirror because our neighborhood has improved dramatically since then. But still, the issues that we have, if it's mental health issues, an example, all I've got to do is walk outside my door and see people who have serious mental health problems. If it's still busted infrastructure or streets and sidewalks, we're a lot better than we were 19 years ago, but we're not where we should be, and there's a lot of Jacksonville that's not where it should be. So I'll stop for a minute and let you continue on with your questions.
I'm amazed. I think you're the first candidate I've spoken to who's been shot at before. You know, I guess maybe some of our military veterans, but I'm glad you could be here with us today.
Well, they missed.
Well, what do you consider to be the top problems in this city, and how do you hope to address them if elected?
Well, I mentioned some of the things that we have in our neighborhood. We took a survey of over 400 voters in Duval County to see where their hot buttons were. And unsurprisingly, it was basically the same things I see in our neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Crime, homelessness, and that didn't necessarily mean that the people themselves were concerned about being homeless, but they understood that was a problem. And I think even in other neighborhoods besides ours, more people are seeing folks who are homeless or getting evicted from their apartments and things like that. And the last one was the cost of living. So things happen on an international basis, and we, the city council, don't have a whole lot to say about.
Right.
President Putin didn't ask me about invading
Ukraine.
Mm-hmm. He didn't ask me, but how that affects us in terms of food insecurity, not too long ago. And I've done a lot of things to visit with people and begin to try to understand more of our issues in town. And so I visited with Feeding Northeast Florida. And it's pretty well guaranteed that we're going to have more food insecurity in our city because of what's happening in Ukraine and the higher prices. Mm-hmm. Less product, same level or more demand, it's going to result in higher
go up. Yeah.
Prices go up.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you probably have said things that resonate with a lot of people. Eye-opening move from the South Side, and now you live in Springfield, and you can see some things that are maybe different. If someone is interested in your campaign, they want to learn more about it, maybe even get involved, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, if they're really that interested, I'll make sure I give them my cell number so they can call me.
Okay.
But we have a website, jackmeeksforcitycouncil.com. So that's one way. And I'll give you a card here before I leave to make sure you have that. But and we have our campaign office is in one of our office buildings, only about a mile from here. So at 4th and Laura Street.
Okay.
So you see where we have our campaign office. So if people want to get involved, I want to make sure they're encouraged to do so.
All right.
We need all the help we can get.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Jack Meeks, candidate for city council at large, which means the entire county gets a chance to vote for you or against you.
Precisely.
All
I
right.
like what you said first about voting for me before you got into the against.
Well, you'll be in everybody's ballot.
Yeah. All right.
All right. God bless. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.